Hello, my name is Stephen. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my presentation. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for coming here today. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Choirul Anwari. I'm delighted to be here today to tell you about the impact of COVID-19 on the world tourism industry. This presentation consists of 4 sections. First of all, I'll I'll I talking about tourism industry as a part of national economies. Next, tourism decrease caused by COVID-19. Then I will focus on measures to mitigate impact on tourism sector. I I will end tourism during and beyond the COVID-19 crisis. There will be a question and answer session after my presentation. Thus, if you have questions, please leave them until the end of the presentation. So let me begin this with a question. Do you know the impact of COVID-19 on the world? Maybe only if you know about the world tourism industry. The current COVID-19 crisis has led national quarantines and global travel bans, bringing international travel and standstill, according to a research performed by United Nations World Tourism Organization (UNWTO). 100% of UNWTO countries impose restriction on traveling and 72% have completely closed their border to international tourism. Exact travel restriction per country can be found in global dashboard created by Humanitarian Data Exchange HDX using data from World Food Program WFP with cancellation business trips, holiday, and weekend getaway. The tourism industry is thus heavily impacted by COVID crisis. In this section, I will tell you about the tourism industry as a part of national economy. According to the World Travel and Tourism Council, WTTC, tourism generates 10.3% of global GDP, making it important driver of the global economy for countries such as Spain and Italy. The contribution of tourism to their GDP even higher than global average, 14.3% and 13% of their GDP in 2019 respectively, using 2018 data from Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development (OECD). The chart in figure 1 show another assessment of contribution of tourism to the national GDP in pre-crisis situation for available countries. And look this picture, chart of percentage of GDP contributed by tourism, search OECD. Tourism is also one of the most labor-intensive sector of economy. According to WTTC, tourism support 330 million jobs worldwide, which are at risk in current situation. To create a better understanding of a number of people working in tourism industry, the European data portal created a visual. This is a picture too, based on 2019 data from Eurostat. The figures show information on percentage of active population working in tourism-related sector. Tourism decrease caused by COVID-19. Travel bans make tourism one of industries that is hit the hardest by the COVID-19 crisis. In Europe, several countries already show that the number night spent in tourist accommodation will halve in March 2020 compared to previous years. This is visualized for available country by European data portal figure 3. In this image, number of nights spent tourist accommodation in the first 3 to 4 months of the 20 2018 to 2020 search Eurostat note. Available European countries are Denmark, Finland, Hungary, Iceland, Norway, Serbia, Spain, and Sweden. The UNWTO is United Nations agency that oversees promotion of responsible, sustainable, and university accessible tourism. They published a summary of their World Tourism Barometer in May 2020, with a special focus the impact of COVID-19 is tourism industry. To get a clear overview, content visualization dashboard was created, where among other subjects, the impact of COVID-19 the tourism industry is assessed, highlighting the most vulnerable destination, comparing impact phase of crisis sector. In the quarter of 2020, international tourism already decreased by 22% with a decline of 57 in March. Creating forecast, the rest of 2020 is the complex due to rapidly changing circumstances. But the UNWTO plotted the three scenarios depending on the course of the virus, the duration of travel restriction, estimate a possible drop in international tourist arrival between 58% and 78% in 2020. The effect of scenarios on international tourism can be seen in figure 4. The scenarios created by UNWTO about effect international tourism. The World Travel and Tourism Council, WTTC, represent private sector of travel and tourism. They state that their mission ensure sector seamless, secure, safe, inclusive, sustainable. The WTTC also conducted a research assess the impact of COVID-19 travel tourism industry. They conclude that industry lost 2.7 trillion USD in 2020. And millions of jobs comprised by crisis. Currently estimate are the Asia Pacific region will be most heavily impacted with 63.4 million job losses. For Europe, the research suggests 13 million jobs in travel tourism sector will be lost, resulting in tourism GDP loss of 633 billion. Next, measure mitigate impact on tourism sector. Mitigate the economic impact of this crisis and to protect the tourism industry, government and institutions are already taking several measures. The European Parliament clearly summarized the measure taken and at national and European level to support industry, although the European Commission (EC) has limited auditory to it intervene industry science. It can only support, coordinate, or supplement member state action in this area. A set of response to COVID-19 outbreak to support both at European and on national level has been defined among other things. The EC over legal analysis member state create a network of industry association to facilitate their sharing of experience. The EC also reserved 30 billion euro for coronavirus response investment initiative to provide liquidity for business and support people who lost their job. When looking national level, we see that most EU member states already announced measures to supply economy, including the tourism industry. For the more information on financial measure in general, see one our previous data stories. The measure include tax moratoriums, extended deadline for payment, as well which subsidies, loans, and guarantees for worker. Illustrate this measure, an interactive dashboard created by UNWTO show per country and per institution the taken measure, which can be seen in figure 5. This is screenshot UNWTO dashboard measure to protect and support the travel tourism industry. So let's move on to next section, which is about tourism during and beyond the COVID-19 crisis. Recently, some European countries such as Italy and Spain announced that they will open the border, restart tourism shortly, to help tourism industry restart after months of lockdown. The European Commission presented a package of guidelines and recommendation to help member states to gradually lift travel restriction and allow business open. During the process, easing the restriction important ensure safety for all travel and take necessary health precaution. Overall, member states should keep in mind the epidemiological situation in other member states, provide proper containment measure throughout the whole journey, and consider economic and social prioritization of cross-border movement in key area. However, we are currently in middle of crisis, making the prediction for the future of the industry difficult. The managing director at the WTTC believe that it could take up 10 months for tourism sector to recover once the virus under control. Will things permanently change regarding the amount and the way we travel? At what speed restriction be eased while ensuring safety at all the time. Can restriction only completely lift once vacation is great, or will we find solution the meantime? There are all example question policy maker are facing today. In meantime, we can make use of opportunity to explore our own country, touristic offering and support local tourism. So that's all I want to say about the impact of COVID on the world tourism industry. In conclusion, all part of the world experience the same impact in tourism industry sector. It is also caused the government policy on restriction on foreign tourists. No, I will be pleased to answer the question if you have them. Q&A session. If there are no more questions, I'd like to end my talk here. Thank you so much for coming and for listening to my presentation. Thank you. Uh, it's so dark. It's look like Boboho.